This is going to be a real quick tutorial on how to create a touch wah in Reaper, and you can do this using any wah plugin. A touch wah has its timing and velocity controlled by your playing, like so. I realized I didn't have a touch wah plugin. I'm sure there's one out there, but I also, just by experimenting around, figured out how to do it in Reaper. You might be able to do this in other DAWs, but it will probably look a little different. So in Reaper, one of the nice things you can do is select any parameter and modulate it using an LFO for like an auto wah type thing. Or in this case, I'm chaining it off the audio. First, you just want to touch the parameter so you know where it is. See, the last touch is filter here. Go to parameter modulation. It's going to come up with a window like this. Enable parameter modulation. That parameter is already going to be the filter because that's the one we touched. And then we can do audio control signal. You can also set up an LFO. So here we have it in like an auto wah mode, and you can control the timing of it. And remember, you can control any parameter in any plugin in Reaper using this method. So there's quite a lot of flexibility. You can even basically create a wah with an EQ, which sometimes I do. In this case, we want to use audio control signal, sidechain. Got this set to track audio channel 1 and 2, but you could do it off just 1 or 2. I decreased the attack and the release a lot from their starting positions because it was too slow. But if I went too fast, it would also be a little too jittery sounding. Because remember, this is basically triggering off of the volume being sent to it, which in this case is somewhat consistent because I've got this clav sound, which is a key time for a touch wah, but you could do this on your guitar too. You want to set the attack and the release so it sounds good, but it's also fast enough that it's responsive. I put minimum volume to the lowest value, so I've got full range there. And then the max volume, this will control how open it gets at what point, so you can use this to control how the wah sounds. You can see this green box when I play a note. You're going to use that to monitor what it's doing. For this particular tone, I want it to be a little darker, so I'm setting my max volume to a point where it's not opening up fully. You can set all these however you want, and it'll still work. It'll just sound different. We've also got a velocity curve here where we can control how sensitive it is, and I wanted it to not react too much, so I dragged this point a little bit down so it's a little less sensitive. And up top, we've got this baseline value, which we can also use to set the default point, the midpoint of this wah. That just gives you control over the range of the wah in this case, or again, any parameter on any plugin you can do this with. Let's see how it sounds controlling the gain of a fuzz this same way. This is the Bratwurst Fuzz, a collaboration between myself and Dom McSweeney. He did the coding, I did the graphics. It's a beautiful fuzz. You're going to love it. So I'm just going to move the gain knob, go to parameter modulation, audio control sidechain. An interesting effect. You can get creative with it. You can find other things like chorus, flanger, even reverb that you want to modulate with this and have fun. I use this trick sometimes for modulating EQ filters to high pass or low pass things in an automated sense. There's a lot you can do with it. I always use this in LFO mode. I haven't tried out the audio control signal mode before, but it's actually super useful, and I'm definitely going to find some ways to use this. So I hope this is helpful and informative. Smash like, subscribe. See you in the next video.